stop scrolling. Listen to me for just a moment. If you keep playing by their rules, you'll never win. You weren't born to compete. You were born to take over. Not to be one of many, but the only one who matters, and deep down. You've always felt that, haven't you? That fire, that voice, that sharp pressure on your chest that whispers, you're meant to rise above all of them, not run beside them. This is your moment to stop chasing and start commanding. This is your time to dominate. Let's talk about it. The world doesn't reward effort equally. It never has, and it never will. You could work 10 times harder than the next guy and still get passed over. Why? Because while you were busy playing fair, someone else was playing to win. Competing is for those who want a seat at the table. Dominating is for those who come to own the entire room. And owning the room starts in your mind, not in the spotlight. You have to stop thinking like a follower and start moving like a storm. The moment you stop measuring yourself against them and start measuring them against what you can become, you take the first step out of the crowd. Most people, they're addicted to comparison. They scroll, they stare. They wish they look at someone else's chapter 20 while living their own page 3. But domination doesn't live in envy. It lives in obsession, in isolation, in sacrifice. You don't dominate by doing what everyone else does. You dominate by doing what they're unwilling to do. When they sleep, you study. When they relax, you sharpen. When they celebrate, you keep building, because your hunger never rests. And that's the difference. People fear the idea of being alone at the top. But let me ask you something. Would you rather be loved by the crowd or respected by the world? Would you rather blend in and be forgotten or stand out and be feared? Domination isn't loud. It's not arrogant. It's silent and relentless. It's the quiet killer in the room full of noise. It's the one who doesn't need to say a word because their presence already shook everyone's bones. Stop playing small just to fit into the room. Burn the whole room if you have to. Build a new one with your name on every wall. You see, the moment you start choosing yourself, everything starts to shift. You begin to walk differently. You speak with more power. You stop needing permission. You stop asking, and you start taking. This world doesn't move for those who wait. It moves for those who demand, those who decide, those who dominate. So, ask yourself, are you playing the game to participate? Or are you here to rewrite the rules? Every second you spend trying to prove yourself to someone else is a second stolen from the person you were meant to become. You don't need to prove. You need to become. You don't need to compete. You need to transform. There's something in you, something violent, something holy, something untouchable. But you've caged it, silenced it, buried it beneath doubt and approval. Let it breathe. Let it rise. Let it take over. You see, dominance isn't about muscle or money or noise. It's about clarity. It's about deciding that nothing, and I mean nothing, will stand between you and what you know belongs to you. And if it doesn't belong to you yet, you take it anyway. Because the universe makes room for those who stop asking for space. Look around you. They're all busy chasing clout, chasing followers, chasing attention. But you are chasing silence. You are chasing impact. You are chasing legacy. And that's why they'll never understand you, because you're not here to be seen. You're here to be remembered. And when you walk into that room, when you step into that arena, you don't bring nerves or hesitation. You bring thunder. You bring war. You bring the kind of presence that makes people forget who they are, because your energy erases their confidence. That's what domination looks like. And no, it's not about crushing others. It's about rising so high, so far, so fast, that no one even remembers there was ever a race. You become a category of one. Let them fight over the scraps. You'll own the bakery. Let them battle for followers. You'll create a movement. Let them try to impress. You'll become undeniable. But here's the truth. Most people can't stomach. Domination costs more. It costs your comfort. It costs your distractions. It costs your excuses. But the price of average is your soul, and you've already sacrificed too much to go back to being forgettable. So don't compete, don't compare, don't wait, dominate. With every breath, every thought, every move. Dominate with your standards, with your discipline, with your silence. Let them sleep on you. You'll haunt their dreams. Let them doubt you. You'll make them believers. Let them underestimate you. That's your advantage. Because when you finally step forward, when the world finally sees who you are, it won't be loud, it won't be expected. It'll be unforgettable. And by then, they won't be able to catch up, because you never wanted to win the race. You came to end it, so here's the part they don't teach you in school. It's not about being better than them, it's about becoming so undeniable that there is no them anymore. Just you and the dust trail you left behind. You don't need to be faster, louder, or flashier. You need to be consistent. You need to be dangerous. You need to walk like you've already won. The reason most people never dominate is because they're too addicted to applause. They need to be seen, to be liked, to be accepted. But acceptance is a prison, and domination is the key. You must learn how to operate in silence, to sharpen your blade where no one's watching, to build in darkness until you emerge as a force, not a personality, but a presence. Your power doesn't come from how many people cheer for you. It comes from how many can't stop watching you, even when you say nothing. The truth is, you will lose friends on this path. You'll be misunderstood. You'll be judged because domination makes people uncomfortable. Your success reflects their laziness. Your discipline exposes their weakness. Your rise becomes their mirror, and not everyone can handle their own reflection. But let them go. Let them whisper. Let them doubt. Because what you're building is bigger than opinions. It's deeper than validation. You're building something that echoes through time. And if that means walking alone, so be it. Because lions don't run in packs, they walk with purpose. And when they move, the whole jungle listens. You want to be that lion, not the echo, the roar. Every single day you wake up, you have a choice. Will you be average by default or great by decision? Will you repeat the cycle they handed you? Or will you shatter it and create your own legacy? Because domination begins with decisions. Tiny, painful, powerful decisions. To do more than what's required. To show up when no one else does. To keep pushing long after the motivation dies. Motivation is weak. It fades. It wavers. It lies to you. But discipline. Discipline is war paint. It is ritual. It is religion. It's the muscle that never sleeps. And if you want to dominate, you marry discipline. You make it your language, your breath, your default setting. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop praying for easier battles instead. Build the strength to carry heavier swords. Because the world doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the prepared. And the moment you stop reacting and start commanding, everything changes. You don't chase success. You become it. You don't need followers. You move like a leader even when no one's looking. Because domination isn't something you do. It's something you are. It's in how you speak, how you move, how you decide. The people who dominate the world aren't better than you. They're just more ruthless with their time, more honest with their habits, more loyal to their standards. You want to dominate? Audit your life. Who are you listening to? What are you allowing into your mind? How much time do you waste on people who couldn't build what you're dreaming of? Cut them off, not with hate, but with purpose. You see, people will say you've changed. They'll say you're cold, arrogant, obsessed. Let them talk, because you're not here for comfort. You're here for conquest. You're not here to be understood. You're here to become the standard. And that means becoming obsessed with growth, obsessed with results, obsessed with your future self, more than you are with your current comfort. And yes, you'll fail sometimes. Yes, it will hurt. But pain is the rent you pay for transformation, and if you're not willing to suffer for it, you don't deserve to lead it. Domination means responsibility. It means never blaming, never whining, never pointing fingers. You take it all, the wins, the losses, the silence, the grind, and you wear it like armor. You don't just outwork them. You outlast them. You outgrow them. You outthink them. Until eventually you look back and realize there's no one left to compete with, because you've become the mountain they now have to climb. You've become the name that gets whispered in rooms you've never even entered. You've become the storm that doesn't pass. You are not a part of the system anymore. You are the system. So keep your eyes locked forward. Keep your spirit sharp, build quietly, move strategically, and when the moment comes, when you finally step into the spotlight, you won't even need to say a word, because the world will already know. You didn't come to compete. You came to dominate. Now listen, there's something sacred about knowing you were never meant to fit in, that quiet truth inside you that says, you're not here to take part, you're here to take over. You've always felt it, haven't you? Like the rules were written for someone else, like the rhythm of the world never matched your heartbeat. That's not a flaw, that's your signal, that's your proof. That domination is not just your goal, it's your nature. So stop shrinking yourself, stop dimming your flame so others don't feel the heat. Let them burn if they can't handle your fire. You weren't made to be soft, you weren't made to be easy. You were made to wake the world up, to remind them what power looks like when it walks with humility, when it moves with purpose, when it destroys quietly and builds louder than words. Don't let their fear of your greatness convince you to hide it. Don't let their comfort become your prison. Because most people are terrified of someone who doesn't flinch, who doesn't fold, who doesn't need validation to keep going. You have to become immune to their noise. You have to build an inner world so powerful that no storm on the outside can shake it. That's what domination looks like. It's internal first, always. You master your mornings. You master your words. You master your urges. You train when you're tired. You focus when you're bored. You stay calm in chaos. Because your power is not in how loud you get, but in how still you remain. And while they scramble to catch up, you've already moved on to the next level, because domination is not one moment. It's not one victory. It's a lifestyle, a decision you make every single day. When your feet hit the floor in the morning, you walk like someone who knows the world is yours, not because of arrogance, but because you earned every inch of it, every drop of sweat, every tear they never saw, every sacrifice they'll never understand. You carry that with you in your spine, in your stare, in the way you don't flinch when things go wrong. Because you already prepared for the storm. You built yourself in it. Let me say this again, stop trying to be accepted. Start becoming respected. Stop hoping they'll notice you. Start making it impossible to ignore you. You don't get remembered by blending in. You get remembered by making noise with your results. By moving different. By thinking longer. By showing up when it's hard. And walking away when it's easy. That's how you dominate. Not just with action, but with vision. Not just with power, but with principle. You want to change your life? Start building your empire in silence. Let them talk, let them scroll, let them sleep. While you build, build your mind like a fortress. Build your body like a weapon. Build your habits like a religion. Build your future like your life depends on it. Because it does. You get one shot at this. One lifetime, one name. And they will either remember it because you showed them what's possible, or forget it because you never believed it was. You're not just here to win. You're here to rewrite the definition of winning. You're not just here to grow. You're here to lead, to dominate not just the industry, not just the field, but every room you walk into. And domination isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You decide that you'll never settle, that you'll never need their permission, that no matter how long it takes, no matter how dark it gets, You're coming for everything they said you couldn't have. You want them to feel you when you leave the room. You want your presence to haunt their comfort zones. You want your story to be so loud that even your silence echoes through generations. And yes, that's possible, but only if you stop playing small, only if you stop trying to compete in their little race when you were built to fly above it. The world doesn't need another competitor. It needs a force, a storm, a revolution. So be that. Be the one they can't figure out, the one they can't copy, the one who walks with such focus that even their noise feels like background music. You have to understand, you don't rise by accident. You rise because you decide that nothing, not fear, not failure, not fatigue, will ever be stronger than your purpose. And once you taste that, once you see how powerful it feels to own your space, you'll never give it back. You'll never beg again. You'll never compete again. You'll dominate, quietly, relentlessly, unapologetically. So here's what I want you to remember. When you wake up tomorrow and the world starts buzzing, when the pressure rises, when the fear creeps in, you look in the mirror and you say, I don't compete, I command. I don't follow, I lead. I don't shrink, I rise. And I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to become the standard. This is not motivation. This is war. And I'm not here to play by the rules. I'm here to dominate.